Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some Halloween themed books for the coming weeks. So as you all know, I love having that seasonal rhythm with my children, and one of the ways that I like to share that with them is by giving them seasonal books. So you've probably watched my autumn seasonal books, and that's given you an idea of how I kind of lay out the books and sort of celebrate the seasons through literature with the children. So for Halloween I do a similar thing but on a smaller scale. I have a small bundle of books that I bring out in October to talk about Halloween and to get them excited and just have that sort of fun celebration feel factor. So I've got a few books to show you, not a lot. I've got a bundle of board books, and then I've got some really lovely picture books as well. I don't have anything for older children like chapter books, just because my children are 2 and 4, so this is kind of the age bracket they're in at the moment. But obviously as they get older I will expand this into slightly older books as well. So I'll start off with a classic that I'm sure you all have, and it's perfect for Halloween, and it's Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Axel Scheffler. We love this story so much. Story of the cat who's on her broom and she keeps dropping things and ends up meeting a big scary dragon. It's very, very Halloweeny, a little bit scary but not in a bad way. And of course you've got lots of great images of the witch with a hat and her broom and a cauldron. So yeah, absolutely perfect for October. A real classic that reminds me so much of my childhood is Meg and Mog by Helen Nichol and Jan Pienkowski. This book just, yeah, it makes me remember being a child so much. It's super bright in its colours, and it's a very simple story of a witch who wakes up, I think on Halloween, and casts a spell. So yeah, it's just brilliant. The illustrations are very simple but very evocative, and I'm really excited to show the boys this year because they've never seen a Meg and Mog book, this whole series of them, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting them just as hooked to the series as I am. So let's do a board book. This is one you might have seen before in last year's autumn books, and it's Apples and Pumpkins by Anne Rockwell. This is a story of a little girl and her family who go to a pumpkin farm and pick apples and pumpkins, and then at the end they go home and they carve their pumpkin and they go trick-or-treating. So a great one for Halloween that goes through the whole process of picking your pumpkin and carving it, and then yeah, getting dressed up and going trick-or-treating. So a really lovely book. This has been such a favourite with both of my boys. They love it, and I just love the illustrations and the rhythm of this book. It's just perfect for that young toddler. The pumpkin themed book is It's Pumpkin Time by Zoe Hall, illustrated by Shari Halpern. This book has wonderful illustrations, really sort of loose and painterly. And it's all about these children who plant a pumpkin seed and then they watch it growing through the whole year until at the end it's time to carve it and also get dressed up for Halloween. And what I like about this is it's very, very gentle. It's not scary like some Halloween books can be, and it goes through the whole sort of rhythm of growing a pumpkin from scratch. So at the end it gives you the details, so it's quite informative in that way and practical, and yeah, it's just fantastic. And I love these super big bright illustrations, so engaging for children. So big fan of this book. And there's also one called It's Apple Time, which we're reading at the moment, but this is definitely our choice for October and Halloween. Another board book is Poppy and Sam's Halloween Party. This is an Usborne Farmyard Tales book, and this is just a lovely sweet book about Poppy and Sam and their Halloween. So lots of seasonal pictures, a couple of cutouts, Very simple story, and yeah, very, very sweet and perfect for a young toddler. I know Toby loves the series with Poppy and Sam, so it's going to be perfect for him. Okay, so moving on to a new book this year is How to Make Friends with a Ghost by Rebecca Green. This is perfect for an older toddler or maybe like a young child. It's quite a lot of text in this book. The illustrations are really beautiful in this. I'm sure lots of you will really like this book. So yeah, it's all about how to befriend a ghost basically. So it's quite funny, and like I said, there's a lot of words in this and quite rich, well, is rich language the right word? Like some more complicated language, I guess. So quite witty and funny. So probably not a book that my children will understand yet, because I mean they're not really on that level, but I couldn't really resist the illustrations in this. I just thought it was so pretty, and yeah, I'm sure for a lot of your children it would be perfect, but for mine, perhaps a little bit too much for them to handle the whole idea of the ghost and like the funny kind of witty side of it, but still a beautiful book and one I'm excited to show them anyway. Moving on to one of my favourite books for Halloween, and it's Pick a Pumpkin by Patricia Tout. You might have already read Pick a Pine Tree, which she has as a Christmas book, and she released that one first, but she also has this gorgeous book all about going to the pumpkin patch. The illustrations in this are really superb and lovely sort of rhyme with it as well, lovely poem, and it's just so gorgeous. And again, it goes through the whole process of picking the pumpkin, gathering your friends, carving it, lots of gorgeous descriptive language, carving different faces, and then of course going trick-or-treating, getting dressed up. So this is probably my favourite Halloween book of all, I think, just because it covers like all the good things about Halloween, the pumpkin picking, the carving, the dressing up in a nice, gentle, non-scary way. There were some books that I had found that I was really tempted to get, but they kind of were a little bit too scary. I find the ones about ghosts a little bit too scary. I don't love the concept of ghosts myself. I find it a little bit frightening, so I don't really want to scare my children about ghosts too much or go down that road too much with them. I much prefer staying in the kind of pumpkin trick-or-treating, but I am going to link some of the more scary ghosty ones in the Amazon link below because they're really gorgeous, and like I said, I was really tempted. It's just ghosts are not my thing, but maybe next year. But yes, if I could pick one book for my bundle, I would definitely go for this one. It is perfect. Okay, moving on to another new book that I picked up this year, which I am obsessed with. It's so good. It's Ollie's Lost Kitten by Nicola Colleen. First of all, the illustrations in this are amazing. The whole book has got this like dark tones, but with the highlights of the pumpkin-y orange colours and also this foil effect in copper, and it just makes it so lovely to look at. And yeah, basically this little, is it a girl? Oh boy, I'm not sure. It's probably a unisex child. Goes outside to play and loses the kitten, finds a lost kitten, sorry, and ends up bringing it home to its owner, who happens to be a witch. It's not scary at all. That's as much of the witch as you get, so it's perfect for more sensitive children who might not like the idea of Halloween being really scary or witches or anything like that. The sort of scariest thing that happens in this book is that Ollie gets lost, but the kitten helps him find his way. So it is very gentle, just enough spookiness, and the illustrations are so good in this. I highly recommend it. It's just perfect, and it's also autumnal enough that this could be read September, October, November, no problem. It's not too tied up with the idea of Halloween. Another board book is A Pumpkin for Peter, and this is a Peter Rabbit tale done in the new style of illustrations. Again, this is a lovely book to choose if you've got a child who's very sensitive and doesn't really like the idea of Halloween. It's a little bit scary with a little bit of rustling and things like that, and bunny rabbits jumping out, but very, very gentle, and lots of nice mentions of beautiful pumpkins. I also think the illustrations in these new Peter Rabbit books are really charming and sweet, and I love them. Last but not least is another real classic, and it's Funny Bones by Janet and Alan Alberg. I couldn't resist this one because, again, it reminds me so much of my childhood. It's not very scary, it's a little bit silly, the illustrations are very classic, colourful and bright, which I actually really like. A lot of the illustrations now are a bit like more this style. I feel like all the new books coming out, which I do love and that's my preference, but there's something about these retro books that also really sort of tug at my heartstrings a little bit and make me feel very nostalgic. So yes, this is a light-hearted, funny, cute book that is perfect for Halloween. Not going to scare children, I don't think, anyway. And yeah, lots of fun. So I'm really looking forward to showing this to the boys. I think Rupert in particular, my eldest, is going to love this. So that's my little bundle of Halloween books for the boys this year. I hope this has been enjoyable to watch and it's given you some ideas of books that you can share with your children too. And yeah, if you want to purchase any of them, please do consider purchasing via my Amazon affiliate link below. I think I earn something like half a penny off each sale, but it makes a difference, so please do that. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon page, it's linked below. Each month I do a live seasonal planning session where we plan the season ahead. I share things I'm doing in the garden, making, crafting, celebrations, not just child-based but also just for grown-ups too, things I want to see in nature. There's also a e-course on it called Slow Natural Mama, which is it's sort of designed around pregnancy and postpartum, but really it just has loads of beautiful natural recipes that you can use for your skin anytime, not just postpartum. And there's also all the old audios and things like that you can listen to. I think there's probably like 40 or so at this point. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!